Hey guys, how's it going? So I'm back in Michigan after recently spending the weekend down in South Carolina at the PSA gathering event. It was totally awesome. Got to hang out with a bunch of great people, including some of you guys. So you're going to see a series of videos coming up here soon on the channel, as well as on my locals community. That's another site that's censorship free. So make sure you check out the pinned comment. You guys can go over there and get free content, or it's a way you can also support the channel. So I'm going to have some gun videos, some really cool stuff that you guys are going to like. But I also stopped and hung out with the people at GOA, Gun Owners of America. And the following video is going to be with my buddy Jordan. And we're going to talk about some stuff that's encouraging. And we do need to stay encouraged. So that's awesome. There's some really good things going on that GOA and all of you have been fighting for. Some victories. Now there's also some things that are not so good. And we're going to talk about those and what the GOA is prepared to do. It has to do with frames and receivers, the ability to make your own firearm, pistol braces, and some other things. So I hope you enjoy the video. Just some updates from GOA, a little conversation of us hanging out. And we were recording at this event where there was a live range not too far away. So sorry about all the gunshots. That's just kind of the nature of a bunch of people having fun shooting, as well as us sitting there talking about our natural rights that are protected by the Second Amendment. I'm here at the Gun Owners of America booth with my friend Jordan. What's happening, man?
How you doing?
Good. So we're going to talk about a couple things. Let's do the good news first. Is there anything going on in the country you guys have been helping that's good news?
So, as gun owners, we face a lot of bad news. We have threats from the federal level coming in, even in the states as well. But there is some good news, especially on the state level. Gun owners should celebrate and really take notice of and be grateful. The constitutional carry wave is continuing to sweep our country. Just looking around the country, Alabama just got constitutional carry after a 10-year battle. It took gun owners fighting for 10 years to get constitutional
Shout
carry.
out to Bama, guys. You guys fought hard.
Yeah. So just looking at that, you take that courage as a note of courage, because we know as gun owners it gets discouraging. We get losses and pro-gun bills die, but we keep up the pressure, and we can get victories. So, 10-year battle came to there. Going up north a little ways to Ohio, they just got constitutional carry. That had been a long battle for a very long time with that. So those are two great battles that we have got recently. We're moving towards freedom, abolishing the need to get government permission before carrying a gun, and we should really cherish those.
What about Georgia? I hear they're about this close.
Yeah, that's it. Hopefully it's any day now. The governor has indicated he wants to sign constitutional carry legislation, so we're really close there. And we're really close in a handful of other states as well.
And then sticking to the South, something from West Virginia you mentioned to me.
Yeah, so it's not constitutional carry. West Virginia already passed that, thankfully. But a bill that GOA pushed and lobbied heavily for was to allow loaded long guns in vehicles. In West Virginia, for the longest time, you couldn't have a loaded rifle or shotgun in your car. You were assumed to be poaching somehow. So GOA pushed for that legislation and got it signed into law a couple weeks ago.
That's good. In my quick math in my head, we're getting close to half the country being constitutional carry, aren't we?
Yeah,
we're right about there.
Quickly approaching. I think we got 23 right now. With a couple more come in, and we'll be at 50%.
Okay, and that's awesome news. And let's transition into a couple things people are kind of worried about right now. And real quick, you guys' motto is literally no compromise, right?
That's right.
Every single gun control law. Look, there's over 24,000 federal regulations. And how many of them does GOA approve of? Literally zero. So you guys aren't willing to say, well, as long as you don't pass the bad stuff, you can slip this through. None of that, right?
Exactly. You're exactly right. So, we cannot give an inch when it comes to the Second. We know the anti-gunners and those in power always push for more and more gun control. And that's why compromise is such a bad deal, because we never get what we want out of it. It's always a loss of gun rights. So at GOA we want our rights back.
Yeah, one more thing about the GOA before I get into a couple of hot button topics. I happen to be friends with some of the people from GOA, guys, and you hear about some people out there, different groups, the money they spend and all that. From what I understand, when you guys travel, you're renting cheap cars, staying in cheap hotels, right? So like, literally as much money as possible is going right into the fight. Is that right?
You're right. You know, we don't fly first class. We travel as economically as possible, and because we want to use our money as efficiently and as responsible as possible, because it's our members' money. And our members have invested into us to protect the Second Amendment, so we have a responsibility to use that wisely, and that's what we do. We don't stay at super nice hotels, but we want all the money to go to the fight, and that's how we focus that.
And I wanted my viewers just to know that, because people ask questions about a bunch of different organizations and stuff, and I've kind of seen behind the scenes with you guys, and that's something I've always been impressed by, that you're putting the money into the fight, right?
Yeah. I don't have any fancy suits. I got these paints at Walmart,
Now, speaking of that, I think we're going to need a lot of money for a couple things coming up. The ATF, otherwise known as the AFT, by the former vice president, they're putting a couple rulings through. The first is going to be what they call that ghost gun ban, the homemade firearms and the 80 kits. And you guys are aware of that situation, right?
Absolutely.
And I realized that all this started with the bump stock case, and we've talked about the Chevron deference, right?
Yeah.
So what's going on right now, specifically with Chevron deference and the bump stock case? I heard about you guys are appealing to the Supreme Court.
Yeah, so we have appealed to the Supreme Court with our bump stock case, and GOA is the only organization who's got a court to rule that a bump stock is not a machine gun. And the way that case is, we've appealed it to the Supreme Court. Hopeful that they'll take it off, and hopefully we get positive ruling on that. But those rulings are the basis for these other regulations that the ATF is coming about. Just with firearms, Americans have been making their own guns since before we were even a country, right?
Yes.
That's like one of the most American things about the United States is we make our own guns, right?
And we probably wouldn't be the United States of America if the founders weren't making their own guns, right?
Exactly. And with the polymer 80 kits and stuff like that, that's just the advancements in technology, right? And just because technology advances does not mean our rights erode as well. We have just as much freedom to enjoy the right to bear arms today as the Second Amendment.
Yes, and the AK, the AR, the Glock, that is the modern musket. So you got that. You've also got the pistol braces thing coming up, where they're going to try to arbitrarily rule against those, right?
Yeah. Exactly, and the thing about that is there's estimated there's 40 million braces already out there circulating, and I can't imagine what the outcome could be. But and I think the real core root of this is the NFA itself, right? Just because a firearm has a 15-inch barrel, it's absurd to me that you have to go through all that paperwork and process to have it. The NFA should be repealed wholly. Every word of it should just be sent to the trash can. We wouldn't be having these conversations.
Oh, I totally agree. And look, guys, I think this is the way this works. The rules actually have to be put into effect. Then people like GOA can actually sue. Is that right?
My understanding is exactly that. And we're currently now already analyzing every avenue of attack that we have.
So we're going to wait till these rules actually come in, but the main thing people want to know is, are you guys ready for it? Are you ready to just fight it with everything you've got, with the home builds and the pistol braces?
Absolutely.
Okay, so you guys are keeping your ears to the grindstone on that. We need to defeat bump stocks in the Supreme Court. That'll end all of it, right?
It would certainly deal a huge blow to these other issues.
And then they're still passing positive gun rights things throughout all these states, like the constitutional carry, the rifles in West Virginia.
Yeah,
absolutely. So I'm proud to be with GOA, guys, and definitely check them out. The No Compromise Gun Rights Organization. All right, thanks.
Thank you.
Well, the GOA is doing a lot to fight for the Second Amendment on many levels, not just in the courts, but with getting awareness and information out to all of you. And I think they're doing a really good job, and I definitely think they deserve our support. Now, also keep in mind, when this country was founded, remember Ben Franklin was asked, do we have a monarchy or a republic? He said a republic if you can keep it. And that's actually you, literally all of you watching right now. So while it's very important to support the GOA, and I think it's a very good organization and they're doing a lot to fight, just remember the fight's still up to you. And we need to be encouraged by the victories we're having and save up that energy to fight like hell with all the crap that's going on right now. So keep up the good fight. Let all your friends and family know what's going on, and I'd recommend supporting the GOA too. All right, thanks for watching, and have a good one.